Let's see. Hi, Robin.
Looks like we lost our host, Jude, but she'll be right back. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes.
I got kicked out, but I'm back and better than ever, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give it one more minute, but if you haven't already, please put in your name and where you're tuning in from. And I'm going to echo what Paula said in the chat. I'm sure our presenters would love to see faces and not names, but if you're unable to, that is absolutely okay. But if you are able to, we would love, love, love to see you guys. Okay. I see a few people trickling in. All right, I think we can get started. I'm just going to say a few words and then you guys will stop hearing from me because I know you guys didn't come to hear from me. But good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Judah Hussein, Communications Specialist here at Foundations, Inc. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our Beyond School Hours National Education Conference follow-up webinar. Happens every Wednesday from 3 to 4. We are so proud and believe it is important to provide all professionals with the professional learning that provides you with quality learning and skills we believe should be accessible to you. So it is our absolute honor to organize this and have all of you join us here today. Before we start, I'd like to give a little bit of a background about Foundations, Inc. We are a national education nonprofit located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. We work all across the nation. Our mission is to improve the quality of education by providing all of our professionals with the skills that they need to build the skills of educators. We work across the school day with after-school programs, schools, districts, and states to create a brighter future for every child every day. So you may know us from our signature Beyond School Hours conference. We have been organizing this conference for over 20 years. This year, we will be back from February 23rd to the 26th in Orlando at the Carib Royal Resort. And we want you guys all to be our guests, and we hope to see you there. So you can keep up with us on our social media, which will be plopped right into the chat. And without further ado, I would just like to introduce Michelle Owens and Daniel Hatcher from Alliance for Healthier Generation to present on Back to School Healthy Fun. I'll let them introduce themselves and kick off the webinar.
Thank you, Jude. We are super happy to be back. Michelle and I love working with foundations and going to the Beyond School Hours conference. So super happy to be here. If you're not familiar with Healthier Generation, we work across the country to create environments that support the physical and social emotional health of children and families. So Michelle and I, as we love to do, have teamed up to put together a list of activities that hopefully you all can try out if you're going back to school. Even if you've been back to school for a while, we hope you'll give these a try. And thinking about holidays and vacation time coming up, we wanted to give you some simple activities to support children's physical health, but also acknowledging the important social emotional aspects of children's health as well. So I'm Daniel Hatcher, I'm the Director of Community Partnerships, and I'm dialing in from Washington, D.C. today. And Michelle, I'll turn it over to you. We'd love for you to tell us about yourself and what you're up to these days.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. I'm Michelle Owens, and I am a national advisor at Healthier Generation. So I've been working for the last almost 15 years for Healthier Generation, and in many different areas, content areas, and most recently in out-of-school time programs with a grant with the CDC. And so a lot of focus on social emotional learning and trauma-informed approaches. And I am in North Carolina in the Outer Banks. I have three, I was going to say elementary age children, but one of them went to middle school this year. So I can't say that anymore. She'd be mad. 3 children. And so like many of you probably, I was home for 20 months with virtual school. So I am very excited school has started, and I'm happy to be here with all of you today.
Thanks, Michelle. And if y'all haven't met Michelle yet, she really is like a true expert in out of school time and after school. Michelle, I think you taught me what after school was like 14 years ago when I started a Healthier Generation. So definitely connect with Michelle. Michelle, you should put your social media handle in the chat for folks as well. Michelle always does an amazing job of showing, bringing resources and activities to life with her little ones on social media as well. So make sure and give her a follow. So today's agenda, we are going to cover some simple, inexpensive resources to support children's physical and social emotional health. What we're going to do is just do a series of activities, and we hope that you participate along with us. We want this to be as active and engaging as possible. We don't have any slides, so we're just going to be demonstrating and talking through activities. We, of course, want you to use the chat box. We're going to ask for some participation in the chat, so we'd love for you to contribute that way. And if you are comfortable and want to be on video, you're more than welcome, but not required at all. And did I miss anything, Michelle?
No, that's good.
All right, so let's dive on in. So the first thing we like to do with folks is to do a check-in. We've created an adapted version of a feelings check-in chart that Healthier Generation has. We'll put a link in the chat so you can check it out, but we're going to do an adapted version today. So that is a drawing, and we're going to add a little bit of extra fun by making it a 1-minute drawing. So find a piece of paper. It could be a scrap sheet of paper, whatever you've got. I've got my little notebook here, and you're going to need a pencil or a pen or a marker or a crayon, anything you've got to write. Got my Sharpies here. So we're gonna all draw an emoji that represents how we're feeling today. An emoji that represents how we're feeling today. But the fun part here is I'm gonna set a timer, and we're only gonna have 1 minute to do our emoji drawings. And to make it even more challenging, maybe fun, you can't pick your pencil or your pen up off the page. So it's a 1-minute emoji drawing that represents how you feel. The only rule is you can't pick your pen up off the page. Sound good? Can I get a yes or a ready to go or a smiley face in the chat box if that sounds good? Thanks, Kylie. I appreciate the thumbs up. Thanks, Lourdes. Thank you, Jude. All right, so we're ready to go. So I've got my timer. So again, an emoji that represents how you're feeling today. We've got 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're drawing an emoji that represents how we feel, but we can't pick our pen off the page. And we're almost at the 30-second mark. Maybe throw in a deep breath here. Just let go of anything that's happened today and just focus on this emoji drawing. Got about 6 seconds left. No worries, wherever you are is fine. And if you're not on video, if you want to share your drawing on your video, we'd love that. Or you can also describe your drawing in the chat. So pens up. Michelle, I found that really challenging. I don't know what it is, but this was kind of hard. What does your emoji look like?
Okay, so I look like an animal. It's supposed to be me, like and how I feel. And I'm looking kind of cattish. So my emoji is this, and it was supposed to be like a crown because I am doing some self-care after I'm done here. I'm getting a massage. So I was like, I'm a princess today.
Nice.
But I'm not really sure. So I'm excited.
Love it. Well, cheers on your self-care. I'm excited to hear that. I'm actually going to put a couple links in the chat here.
Oh, Paula, you were showing yours. Show yours. Oh.
Paula, would you like to describe that?
I have a lot going on.
I think we've all felt like that lately. Jude, I like that. You want to describe?
I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm smiling, but I'm tired.
Gotcha.
So it's a good week, but a long week.
You just described my emoji here, Jude. It kind of looks, mine sort of looks like a Bart Simpson character. I think it's because the not picking the pen off the page.
Oh, it definitely does.
Looks a little confused. You know, a good mix of happy yet tired. Maybe some confusion. One of those weeks. If anyone else wants to come off mute or share your video, you're more than welcome to share. You can raise your hand or give me a thumbs up if you want to describe your emoji. You can also put it in the chat box. I will ask a follow-up question. Like, how do you think this activity might be useful as we go back to school or come back from a break or really just any time? Any thoughts on how this feelings chart drawing activity might be useful? What do you think? How might a feelings chart drawing activity be useful? Thanks, Paula. An opportunity to reflect on your emotions. Yeah, do your own personal check-in. So even thinking as an educator, utilizing this activity could be a way to just see how you're feeling, share how you're feeling. What do you think, Michelle? How might feelings chart be used?
I would think similar to what Paula said, but like as a check-in for students, so you can kind of determine, you know, how the kids are when they're coming into your school or your program and how they're feeling. So you might have to take a minute to calm some down, you know, just kind of talk to some students, see where they are before kicking off like programming or anything that you're doing.
Thanks, Michelle. I like the point you make about checking in before diving into programming, just acknowledging what children might have been dealing with prior, maybe the weekend before or over the break.
Yeah. I mean, not being in school or programs for a certain amount of time, I think that just being there during the day can be overwhelming to not have to go to like the next step of after school or somewhere. So it might be very helpful to check in, like what Kylie said.
Thanks, Kylie. I'll read what you wrote in the chat here. Just to get a general check on how the youth's time away was, especially with younger ones who might not have words to express it verbally. Well said. Thank you, Kylie. And this activity came from two separate resources. One is a feelings chart check-in with some emoji icons already on the chart. So you would just circle the emoji that represents how you're feeling. And then there's a 1-minute drawing activity. And Michelle had the genius idea of using a drawing to illustrate multiple feelings. So you might not just be happy, you might be happy and tired. So using a drawing creates a little bit more space for kids and adults to share the complexities of the emotions that they might be going through. Well, I hope you liked the feelings check-in, and hopefully you'll give that a try. We're going to keep moving for time because we have a few more activities we want to get into. So the next one is a mindfulness activity. So if your emoji was something that involves stress or being tired, hopefully this activity will help you today. So this is called Candle Breath, and I'll put a link in the chat for this resource in just a second. But we're going to do it together. So no matter where you are, hopefully you can follow along. So get comfy. Not too comfy, Michelle. No dozing off. So get nice and comfy. And this is a visualization exercise. So we're going to think about a candle here in just a second. But the first thing to do is just to take a big, deep breath in. You can feel your chest get wide, your stomach, fill up your belly. Take a big, deep breath in. And then you're going to breathe out. And as you breathe out, I want you to visualize blowing a candle out. So big, deep breath in. Visualize that candle. You can see it flicker. Blow the candle out. Now we're going to do it again. Another big, deep breath in. And this time we're going to blow the candle, but we're not going to blow it out. We're just going to make it flicker. So breathe out really slow, but visualize that candle flickering. So let's do it again. So another big, deep breath in. Blow the candle. Just make it flicker. Maybe you can make it flicker just a little bit longer this time. Let's do it again. Another big deep breath in. Breathe out. Watch the candle flicker. Maybe your eyes are open, maybe your eyes are closed, whatever you want to do. So this activity called Candle Breath is from a newer, healthier generation resource called Virtual Me Moments. And there's a lot of different activities. There's some breathing exercises. There's some drawing, creative arts activities. There's some physical activities. But it's a resource all meant to give educators and students just a moment, resources to take a moment, take a me moment when you do need a break and a quick breather. And let me grab the link really quick. I'll put the link to this resource in the chat. But as I do that, would love for you to think about how do you feel after candle breath? And maybe put a word or two in the chat that describes how you feel after we did that breathing exercise today. And I'll share that I feel calmer. You know, it's the afternoon here in DC. Had a lot of calls today. Just taking a few minutes to take a deep breath, even though I was explaining the activity, had a lot of benefits for me. Just to take a minute and calm down. So put a word or two on how you feel about that candle breath activity in the chats. Michelle, you're feeling relaxed? And again, I put a link to candle breath in the chat. That'll take you to that particular resource. I believe it's one that you have to have a free login. But once you have that login, you can access all of the different resources on the virtual Me Moments Hub. And thanks to everyone who's sharing in the chat. Jamal shares refocused. Jude shares at ease. Excellent. Well, hopefully you can come back to Candle Breath as you need it, and it can be a resource to share with students and families. Again, really nice activity to use before jumping into programming or doing any activities with young people and families, just to calm everyone down, get on the same page together. Thank you, Keisha. You feel relaxed? Awesome. All right, Michelle, are you ready to do some air writing?
I am.
So this is a more physically active resource. This is also in the virtual Me Moments Hub, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called Airwriting. And now, Michelle, I know you do a lot of vocabulary with your little ones. So I'm wondering if you could volunteer a vocabulary word that we could use for this activity.
Oh, God, I was in charge of vocabulary. What about endurance?
Endurance, okay. You picked a long word, so this is definitely going to be physically active. All right, so I'm going to write endurance in the chat box. Mainly because I don't want to misspell this as we do this activity. So we're going to start with our left hand, and we're going to spell endurance with our left hand in the air. And so you could stretch your arm all the way out in front of you, put above you, to the side, whatever you want to do. I'm going to scoot back a little bit here. But you're going to spell endurance with your hand. And maybe I'm going to try and do it in cursive. So it's as simple as just moving your arm. So that would be my E. This might be backwards for y'all. So feel free to do it along with me, but you're using your left hand to spell endurance in the air. So E, N, D, U, R, A, N, C, E. What do you think, Michelle?
That's good.
That was,
for a while.
I could kind of feel that in my shoulder there. All right, so now let's switch it up. So let's see, maybe our right elbow. You ready, Michelle?
Ready.
So feel free to join along. If you're watching this recording, I hope you are laughing at what we're doing. We're doing air writing, and we're spelling the word endurance. So E, N, D, U, R, A, N, C, E. Well, Michelle, using the word endurance, you gave us a nice upper body workout today, but it feels nice to move around a little bit. So, reflection question for everyone. Why do you think physical activity breaks like this are beneficial? Coming back from breaks or over the weekends or anytime, why are physical activity breaks beneficial to young people and to adults? And thank you, Jude. You are amazing at writing these reflection questions in the chat box. Thank you. So physical activity, why could these simple breaks, how could they be beneficial to young people and families, or even staff, anyone? Thanks, Melissa. It helps create movement and incorporates fun. And Jude says yes to that. I completely agree. Jude, I appreciate what you shared too. Mental break from the work at hand to just reset. Absolutely. Lord shares it could reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. Thank you, Lords. Absolutely. I'll just go back to what Melissa shared. It's fun. You know, young people and all of us have dealt with a lot of challenges over the last 18 months. So to weave these fun movements into our day, I don't know, just makes the day a better experience. And again, you never know what someone has dealt with before the time you're having with them. So adding just a few minutes to reset and have a little fun could make all the difference. And Kylie, thank you for your comment in the chat. Young people need to move. And sometimes the best learning is done through movement and play. And Michelle demonstrated that we can learn some new vocabulary words by doing Airwriting. Jude, thank you. Physical activity eases the feeling of anxiety. Absolutely. It's kind of like the deep breathing exercise. It's just a moment to like take your mind off of what might be stressing you out and to have a little fun. And even better when you get to do it with your friends. It's a lot of fun to see Michelle and Jude doing the activities. We're all doing it together. You know, it gives you permission to take that break. And thank you to everyone. I noticed a few other folks have joined us, so thank you for joining us. We're doing simple activities that you can use going back to school or coming back from the weekends to promote physical and social emotional health. No slides here. We're just going through a series of fun activities. And thank you to everyone who's commenting in the chat. So we have another physical activity, and this one's called Wavy Eights. Let me write that in the chat box here, Wavy Eights. This is also in the virtual Me Moments Hub. So again, I hope you will get your free login or visit the Me Moments Hub to get these resources. We just wanted to take this webinar as an opportunity to demonstrate them and do them together. Michelle, you ready to do some Wavy Eights?
Ready for some Wavy Eights.
Okay, so we're gonna extend our arm. I've never explained this before, so I hope I hope I do it well. I think it's fun. So extend your arm with your thumb up. All right. So now you're going to trace a figure 8. So you can go down or up, whatever you'd like to do. So we're stretching our arm out, thumbs up, tracing an 8. Hey there, R. Crawley. Thank you for jumping on video with us. So focus your eyes on your thumb. And then you're going to take a deep breath in as you trace that 8. You might slow it down a little bit. And a deep breath out as you trace the 8. So let's do that 3 times. So keep your eyes focused on the thumb. Big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. So trace it 3 times. All right, now we're going to switch hands, switch arms, and make any adaptation you want. So if you could use your elbow, you could use your leg, whatever you'd like to do. You change it up. This is no rules here. So we're going to do our left arm, arm stretched out, thumb up, trace the 8. Don't forget your big deep breath in, big deep breath out. Slow it down, you can speed it up, however you're feeling. So again, this is Wavy 8s from our virtual Me Moments Hub. So now the next step is to clasp your hands together. So out in front of you. Let's scoot back a little bit more here. And you can put your thumbs up or thumbs down, and then you're going to trace the 8 again. Maybe go really big with your 8 this time and stretch out your shoulders. Very nice arc crawly. All right, don't forget to deep breathe. All right, now we're gonna do it again, but let's go. We're gonna make the biggest 8 you can make. So stretch it as far as you can. Yeah, Michelle, arc crawly. Yeah, I see, I see you. Very nice, very nice. All right, so give yourself a pat on the back for Wavy Eights. Very nice. What do you think, Michelle? Do you like that one?
I like that one. I needed that. That felt good.
We're doing all the arm stretches
I know.
today. All right, so a question for you. Did you like Wavy Eights? And maybe you use a similar activity or another brain break that's physically active. Would love to know in the chat box if you use something else, if you liked Wavy Eights, how you feeling? I like this one because it's pretty easy to explain. And, I was kind of using my notes there because I've never really explained Wavy Eights before. And there's 3 or 4 different directions, but I really like it because your mind starts to think about how to make it more fun and more enjoyable and even more active. So I think it's a great brain break physical activity that anyone can try and really make their own as well.
Mm-hmm.
Richardson in V, or Richard in V, you like the figure 8, you felt it in your arms. Me too, especially after Michelle made us spell endurance with our arms. What did other folks think? Did you like it? Is there another one you would recommend?
I felt like it was really good, especially if you wanted to kind of keep kids seated, but you wanted them to be active too, because they could get really silly making a giant 8 like we did at the end, but still be kind of in their seat. So especially if you're not really great with behavior management, or kids are just coming back from like something where they're really jacked up, and it's giving them some time to get the wiggles out, but still kind of be in their seat.
Thanks, Michelle. I feel like you say that from experience, from at-home teaching.
That's Gavin.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen Jones. Good for getting the blood circulating. Absolutely, especially if you've been sitting, or I don't know about y'all, but I find when I get stressed, I start to lean closer to my laptop and like my hand like kind of turn into a little T-Rex, like leaning forward. It's nice to stretch it out, lean back. All right, well, we have another physical activity for you all to try. Oh, but before I share it, Robin's got a point in the chat. You could count to 10 with the wavy method, or count by 5s, any counting you need to practice. Well said, a great way to add some additional learning into that. If you were doing, you could turn a whole math lesson into something that's more physically active. Robin, I might borrow that next time. I might use that. All right, so here's our next activity. It's called Deskercise, to Michelle's point of activities we can do at our desk. So I put a link to this resource in the chat. And it's one of my favorites. It's from our friends at the National Center on Health, Physical Activity, and Disability. And they're focused on inclusive movement and physical activity for kids and families. So what I'd love to do is take a couple minutes and click that link. And that will take you to Deskercise. And then if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see there's a poster, a Deskercise poster. And I would love for you to open that Deskercise poster and pick one of those physical activities that you would like to try. And share which activity you're going to try in the chat box. And then we'll do a few of these together. So I'm going to choose, let's see. I'm going to choose prayer hands. I like that one because it's a nice like stretch if you've been at your keyboard for a while. So thank you for everyone who's putting desk-sized movements in the chat. So Michelle's got overhead triceps. Jude has a shoulder stretch. I have my prayer hands. Jamal has jog in place. I like that one. Paula has seated dancing. Very nice. So pick your favorite desk-sized movement. Do it on your own. You could do one of the ones that someone else has recommended. I'm going to do that tricep, overhead tricep. Oh, you're using a book, Michelle. Is that how you do? You hold a book? And
Yeah, you got to get some weight in there.
like that.
Keep your elbows close to your ears.
Sarah has shoulder stretch. Laura has ski arms. Melissa has desk dip and shoulder stretch. Excellent. Paula says seated dancing is a little silly without music. Feel free to sing along. Make your own tune, Paula. Dr. Stephen Jones says a chest opener. Let me go read the instructions for chest opener. That sounds nice. Start with prayer hands. Open your hands out, pressing your elbows down to open the chest. Open your hands out. I think I'm doing that right. Chest opener, start with prayer hands. Open your hands out, pressing your elbows down to open the chest. Hold for 10 seconds. I like this resource because it's focused on inclusion. There's really great descriptions and photos in case you're not quite sure what it is. So again, this is a resource you could share with students, you could share with staff who are coming back to school. You could use this in a staff meeting. So lots of different ways to use the poster. We've got some more prayer hands, push-ups against the wall. And again, you can modify depending on how much activity you want. And again, like Michelle said earlier, you could pick activities that are seated if you want to add movement, but keep folks behind the video. All right. So we have about 20 minutes left. And I'm going to give you a choice of which activity you want to do next. So we have a craft type activity Michelle and I are going to demo. So a craft activity that can be used a lot of different ways. Or we have a group conversation brainstorm around kindness. So would you rather do a craft demo or a kindness conversation? And we might be able to do both, but I want to make sure we get to what y'all want first. Craft demo, kindness conversation. Oh, we've got one vote for kindness, one vote for craft. Another vote for crafts. One more vote for craft. Okay, we're going to start with the craft project, and if we have time, we'll get to the kindness conversation. So Michelle tweeted this out earlier today, a mystery activity. And Michelle, do you want to show us the materials that you have, and then we'll see if anyone can guess what we're going to make together.
Okay, I have a paper towel holder. I have some tape. I have some stickers. And I have some black-eyed peas.
So I know you're not making us dinner, Michelle.
No.
Although I do like black eyed peas. Anyone want to guess what we might make together? Show us the ingredients for our activity one more time, Michelle.
Okay. Paper towel, tape,
Okay.
some stickers,
Stickers.
have
nice.
markers or crayons or anything else too. And then some yummy black-eyed peas.
Well, Paula, you guessed it. It is kind of an instrument. We are going to make a rain stick. Has anyone here made a rain stick before? Put a yes or an emoji, a smiley face in the chat box. So the rain stick we're making is from our friends at Too Small to Fail. And they're focused on helping younger kids 0 to 5 be surrounded with music and dance and reading. So we're borrowing this activity from there. They have an indoor toolkit, a staycation toolkit. I put a link in the chat. So we're borrowing this activity from them. You can also find it in our virtual Me Moments hub. So we're going to make it together. So step one, you're going to need your paper towel holder, paper towel tube,
Yeah,
or
I can think of what
I
it's
had some craft tubes, kind of like a toilet paper tube, but it's a little bit more sturdy. So for me, if you're starting with a small tube, you might need to tape a few together. So that's what I did. I taped 2 together. So mine, this kind of looks like a paper towel tube now. So that's step one. You didn't need to do that step, Michelle. You're good to go. So the second step is to put tape over one end of the tube. And you already did yours, right, Michelle?
Yeah, I pre-taped it.
Ooh, let's see. Can you hold it up close? I'll show the one I did too.
I just kind of use like packing tape.
Nice. So tape on one end. And now the next step is the most fun, but can get a little tricky. You don't want to spill black-eyed peas all over your office. So you're going to fill the tube with beans or rice. You could use beads, whatever you have on hand. I have some dried beans that I'm going to put. So you just drop those down in your tube. And you can put as many as you want. I've had about a handful. So let's recap. We have our tube, tape the bottom, put in the beans. What's the next step, Michelle?
You put tape on the other end of your tube.
Don't seal it up before you put the beans in. All right, so I'm going to tape mine real quick. Looks like Paula had a rain stick when you were a kid. I think I might have as well. All right, so I'm sealing mine up. So as Michelle and I finish our craft activity here, would love to know, how do you think a rain stick might be useful? So why a rain stick? Why this activity? Do you see any benefits of this activity? It's pretty simple. But why is it beneficial? What do you think? Put in the chat box. Paula, you got it. You said that dancing without any music felt silly. So it is a way to make your own music. You just didn't know you needed a rain stick, Paula. I like it because it's a visual reminder of adding physical activity and fun into your day. It's also an activity that students can share with their families. Michelle, how much do you think this rain stick costs?
Maybe $1.
I would say that might be an expensive rain stick.
Well, I'm
because I
thinking of
think-
like, if you have stickers
Yeah,
and you purchase like the beans.
yeah. Stuff you already have.
Well,
Yeah,
if
so
it's
pretty
already
cheap,
ha-
pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, maybe 50 cents.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess. Even at $1, I think that's a pretty reasonable activity. All right, I still not up. Are you finished with yours, Michelle?
I am.
Give it a shake. Let's compare the rain stick you made with the one that I made. Let's hear
Okay,
it.
ready?
Yours is more exciting than mine. I think my beans got stuck to my tape. So that is a rain stick. Another benefit is linkages to talk about sound and physics and STEM concepts. Michelle and I actually just finished a brand new e-learning module focused on connecting STEAM and SEO and whole child health. So we can put a link to that in the chat box as well. So we're really excited about these kind of activities that connect the dots between movement, social emotional health, and arts activities. All right, so I hope you give a rain stick a try. Again, that's from our friends at Too Small to Fail and their Talking is Teaching Staycation guide. And if you make one, definitely let us know. I'll put my Twitter handle in here too, because I would love for you to show me what you made, especially if you have some fun adaptations. All right. Anything else on the rain stick, Michelle?
No, I think that's good.
You didn't spill black eyed peas in your office?
I did not. I did good. It's unlike the bird feeders or whatever we made where I had bird seed everywhere.
The DIY bird feeder.
Yes, that won't happen here again.
All right, so we're gonna keep moving. We have just a little bit of time left. And so the next activity is a group brainstorm about kindness. So this activity comes from our friends at the Born This Way Foundation. So there's a campaign going on this month called #BeKind21. I'll put that in the chat, #BeKind21. And the idea behind this campaign is that if you practice 21 acts of kindness, that will develop a habit to show kindness to yourself or to other people. So I thought what we could do today is just brainstorm ways that we can practice kindness to others, ourselves, our families this fall. And thinking back to school or the holidays, I know Thanksgiving is just around the corner. So perfect time to have a nice list of kindness activities. And I'm actually going to I'll take notes. And I have a Word document that will be our list. And if you want that list, just email me and I'll send you our group Be Kind 21 activity list. So I'll put my email in the chat here. So that's my email, daniel.hatcher@healthiergeneration.org. So, and maybe I'll move to the screen here so I can get our list going. So feel free to write in the chat or come off mute. So let's think about going back to school or coming back from a holiday break, or maybe even something we could do before heading out on holiday break. How can we encourage kindness? And let's try and make a list of, let's see if we can get to 10 things. So feel free to write as many as you like in the chat box. How can you practice kindness to yourself or others? Jude shares compliment people, only compliment people when it's genuine. All right, I like that. I'm gonna say, I'll put that in here. And Jude, I like that because that's a great reminder to compliment people. That's such a simple way to spread kindness, is to give compliments and genuine compliments. Melissa shared, give a smile, a kind word. Love that. Hold the door open for the next person. Awesome, I love that. Perfect for social distancing as well and helping folks stay safe. Robin shares, write a thank you note. Donate items to those in need. Love that, Michelle. Paula shares, I like this. Give compliments when you think of them, don't keep them to yourself. And I'm writing these down. If you wonder why I'm reading these in a really kind of a funny way, it's just because I'm reading them as I type. I'm typing them as I read them. Check in with someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. Love that, Michelle. I'm going to add to that and write, send a postcard, because that's one of my favorite things to do. All right, we're at 8. 2 more acts of kindness. Back to school acts of kindness. What else could we put on our list? I'm also going to write here, add a physical activity break to your next meeting. Because I really enjoy doing that. All right, just one more act of kindness. Help someone with a task they might be struggling with. Thank you, Kylie. Be patient with people. Plant something for a friend. Awesome. All right, we are at 12, so I'm going to save this. So if you would like a copy of our Beyond School Hours Foundations Be Kind 21 list, just send me an email and I will happily send this to you. Thank you, R. Crawley. I'm going to add that one too. I appreciate that. Texting friends and relatives, letting them know we're thinking of them. Wonderful. All right, so we have our Be Kind 21 acts of kindness list. I'll be sure to share that with y'all. Would love for you to send me back any additions you want me to put on that list as well. So we're almost out of time. I think our last question, Michelle, is what's one thing folks are going to try? Maybe something you learned from us today or something you heard from someone else who attended the training. What's one thing you'll try? And I'm going to say, I'm going to try that Wavy Eights activity again. I really like that. Robin's going to try Airwriting. Paula's going to do Wavy Eights. Emoji drawing. Awesome, dude. And as you're thinking about and sharing activities that you're going to try, if you have any questions, happy to answer any questions. I know Michelle will gladly answer questions as well. We're super happy you spent some time with us today. Keisha's going to do the prayer hands from desker size. Jamal's going to try desker size. Excellent. And again, if you want that list of kindness activities, just email me, daniel.hatcher@healthiergeneration.org.
That is awesome. There are so many coming in, so many great activities that are so healthy and simple and doesn't cost much to get, young people and adults moving and being active and actually understanding or trying to understand how they feel, which is really, really important to be in tune and aware of your emotions, especially as we come back to school, we come back to work, we come back from the weekend even. It is just so hard to get in tune, but things like this really, really bring us to be a little bit more aware of ourselves. And I think that's really important. Thank you so much to Daniel Hatcher and Michelle Owens. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. They dropped their social media handles, and so did we at Foundations. And please let your platforms know that you are here at a Beyond School Hours webinar with Michelle and Daniel. We host our webinars every Wednesday from 3 to 4. We are dropping in the link so you guys can all see the webinars that are upcoming. Next week, we're going to have Vox here with a teen facilitator that's going to be talking about a culture, a sense of culture and belonging. But Daniel and Michelle, you guys are absolutely phenomenal. We thank you a million times for coming. We hope to see you back at Beyond School Hours. And I know we'll see you in Orlando. We hope to see everyone in Orlando this upcoming new year in February. So we're going to drop those links in. We hope to see you next week. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a good
Thank you
day,
all.
everyone.